My name is David Hardiman. I'm a show design and production manager for Walt Disney Imagineering, and we're here at the grand opening of Test Track presented by Chevrolet at Walt Disney World's Epcot.
Can you guys talk a little about what your goals were heading into this redesign of this attraction?
Sure. Our goals were to give the guests an experience that allowed them to take the role of automotive designer. We're leveraging new technology here in the pre-show that allows them to design their own concept cars, and then they'll be able to test those designs on the ride and then play with them in the post-show.
Can you talk a little about how today's video game centric guests influence how you guys add interactivity to the queue lines?
Sure. As a gamer from my own childhood and a parent of two gamers, we realize that's a strong desire in our park-going public now to enjoy interactives wherever they can. So what we've done is we've added short-range RFID association devices where guests will basically take a room key and associate their designs with a database. That'll allow us to pull their design up later for them to see on the attraction, as well as interact with it in the post-show.
How much detail is there in one of these design stations in terms of customization?
Quite a bit, actually. We tried to calculate how many different variations you could come up with, and we finally gave up. We've had a lot of fun playing with the different variety. You can change the length, the height, the width, the engine style, as well as add a variety of accessories to your car to really customize it to make it your own.
Can you talk about the experience actually inside once people get inside this car and how this attraction has been updated?
Absolutely. So the gone are the old kind of testing environment stages from the old show. Now essentially you're being uploaded with your design into the sim track, where you'll be able to follow your design through the paces of 4 different design attribute testing centers. That'll be capability, efficiency, responsiveness, and finally power.
When it comes to inspirations, there's been a lot of people that have referenced things like Tron, but where did you guys draw inspiration from for the redesign on the inside?
Tron was certainly a forefront for what it might look like inside of a computer, but there have been many different stories that have come out since that one that have lent themselves to what the internal network would look like. So naturally, we're probably going to follow suit with some of those ideas, but this is very much a unique feel to our own attraction.
Did video games themselves influence the redesign on the inside once people get inside that attraction?
Well, we have a variety of software support, and all of them bring their own experience and aesthetic preferences from their own upbringings. So certainly you're going to get some of that video game influence in there, but it's a little different than a video game per se. It's you channeling through the testing environment itself.
Now, I know that you guys work with Chevrolet with these types of things. They're always on the cutting edge when it comes to automobiles using virtual reality and technology. Can you talk about how you guys work together on this?
I'd love to. Yeah, it was wonderful working with the Chevrolet design team, actually. We made several trips up to Warren, Michigan to their tech center where we worked collaboratively on what was important to both of us for this reimagination of the attraction. It was an education for both teams to learn that we have a lot in common when it comes to a design-build organization. We both kind of feed from the same sources. And we're both just as passionate about the end result. So we did use a number of different virtual technologies. They on their side as well as on ours. We have some pre-visualization software where we've actually loaded some of the preliminary designs into a 3D environment. And we use that to try and work out any issues we might find in the field down the road. It's been very successful on this project.
Did you guys also employ the cave in order to ride this before it was actually redesigned at all?
Cave. I'm not
the Imagineering studios?
I've not heard that term before, but yes, we did actually do some virtual ride-throughs to check sight lines and ensure that we had everything covered before we got out here into the field.
Now, you mentioned that you're actually a gamer. Were there particular video games, racing games that stood out for you?
The racing games from my day would probably be Spy Hunter, so we'd go way back, but I've followed probably every evolution of system that's come out, and my kids are always looking for a new upgrade as well. So we're active gamers in the house throughout.
And when it comes to racing, they're always at the forefront, whether it's Gran Turismo or Forza. Racing games are really pushing technology whenever there's a new console coming out. What is it about racing games and simulation that you think goes so well together?
I can't say. What I can say is that the racing aesthetic is definitely something that we knew was going to be important to our park goers, and the interactive definitely lends itself to a lot of those customization attributes. As for the racing feel itself, well, that's actually not virtual at all. That's going to be a real physical experience.
And the last thing I wanted to ask you, was there any types of advances in technology that we saw at Cars Land on their ride that were also employed in Test Track? Do you know?
Well, no. I wouldn't say there was. Test Track was the first implementation of this hardware. We've certainly learned a lot from having it here through the years. But if anything, I would say Cars Land probably borrowed a few things from us.